New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Welcome to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Your hosts are two girls who believe that life is awesome, that laughter heals, and that it's possible to find deep spiritual insights in everyday experience.
Here come the girls. It's more than practical. Here come the girls. Way more than merely factual. If you want to know the secrets of a life that's free, listen to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Listen to Girls Behaving Metaphysically.
Hello. Welcome to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. We are your hosts, Robin Rice Olmsted.
Dr. Natasha Wilson. And where are you today, Robin?
I'm in New Mexico.
New Mexico. Okay.
I'm in New Mexico, and Natasha is on the other side of the world.
Yes, literally and figuratively right now. So I'm in Brisbane, Australia, in the beautiful sunny state of Queensland.
Where it is early in the morning and it is later in the afternoon here. Yes. So wherever you are, we welcome you and we're glad to have you. And we hope that you'll stick around and enjoy our show.
Absolutely.
So if you've never been here, or even if you have, you may not know that Girls Behaving Metaphysically is really a show about everyone. It's not just for girls, but it did stem from girls who were always told things like, well, that's not very spiritual, or is that metaphysical? Yes, it's all metaphysical, and it can all be spiritual. It just depends on your perspective. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're here to talk about, and just dive into some topics that support you and may be interesting to think about. Last week we talked about reinvention and what is that a reason, a season, or a lifetime, and just how we reinvent ourselves and new things come up and all of that. And today we're going to follow that up with just a little bit more about becoming.
Yes.
And what does it take to become in some ways. And so our show today is Becoming Her, Navigating the Journey. And it could be becoming him or becoming them or becoming whatever pronoun you choose. But it's really about becoming. And just what does that look like? So that's what we're going to talk about. But before we do that, we're going to talk about each other because we just like to know what's going on with each other. And this is where we get to catch up. So
I know, because we don't get to see each other that often.
That's so true.
Yeah. So how have you been? What's been happening in your world?
Oh, it's just busy, and it's good. I mean, a lot of it is great. It's just making the great match up with the monetary figures that one would like to see.
I hear you.
Other than that, I really love my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good. Let's see. Is there anything fun or earth-shattering that has happened? No, my class. It's really fun. I think teaching class and doing things like that, like public speaking and all those things that I don't necessarily love to do, but at the end, they're always so rewarding. And I'm always like mystified by people saying, wow, that's so great. And I'm thinking, wow, what did I do? what did I say? What, like I don't know. It always surpasses my expectation on some level in
Mm,
response. So that's really fun to be going into our third class, I guess, tonight.
okay.
And just the connection with people and people's excitement. So that's been really fun.
Nice. That
Yeah.
sounds beautiful. Yeah, that sounds really lovely.
What about
Yeah.
you? What's been going on?
Yeah, well, so much of my life revolves around my daughters right now, but I am starting to have a social life. I Last week I went out on a Saturday, and I was like, I wasn't gonna go. I was gonna go, but I was like, feeling like, oh, I don't know if I have the energy to socialize. And my oldest daughter, was like, "Mom, you need to get out." So, and so it was so funny. She chose my entire outfit. She chose, which was really funny and cool and quirky. And I wore it, and I went out, and I had a really great time. And then this week, my daughter also had her very first dance performance at the school assembly on our Wednesday. And she was amazing. I'm so proud of both my children. They've come so far, these kiddos. Yeah, they've come so far. And then yesterday, well, we all stayed home because I woke up, getting ready to do my regular routine. And I checked the weather as a part of my regular routine. And there was just a big red, warning for hail. And I'll never forget when I first moved to Australia and I first learned to drive on the left side of the road, I got caught in a hailstorm. Queensland is known for hailstorms. So I got caught in a hailstorm on the motorway. And my exact thought in that moment was, as the ice is hitting my wind, I'm like, they call it windscreen here. We call it, what do we call that? Windshield. The first thought was like, this is some bullshit, and I am never doing this again. Right. So when I saw the hailstorm, I was like, girls, you got us home. We got a home. You're home from school today. Right. Like, we're not even taking a chance. So yeah, we had a fun day at home. I worked, got a lot of rest. My life is good, can't complain.
Yeah, it's good. Weather is weird. I saw that Michael put up at 68 in Ohio. It's actually 85 here, but it's mostly cloudy. But 2 days ago, it rained and poured more than it did all winter. So weather is so random.
Well, yes, weather is so random, and climate is not.
Don't get me started on that. I've had a conversation about that once already today. But yeah, I think. All right, so I think it's time for our card pull of the week. My hands have started shuffling.
Let's do it.
All right. Now I have successfully mixed the cards up different ways. Say when.
Okay, let's win.
All right. We're gonna go with the card that is up. I feel like we've had this card before.
Oh, really?
But who knows? It's just life. This is transformation.
Okay.
There it is.
Okay.
Transformation.
Is that the phoenix? The image of the phoenix?
It appears to be, yes.
Okay.
And it says a fresh new way of living emerges.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, okay. We just said we just said
Is there
we
more?
well, we just said we liked our life, and it's like a new way is emerging. All right, here
It's
it goes.
emerging, right?
Right, it's always emerging. All right, card meaning. You are in a time of huge transformation. Old beliefs, ideas, and decisions about who you are and what you deserve in life are dropping away, replaced by incredible vitality and new pathways. Soon, you'll be experiencing the world in a fresh, new way.
Hmm, I
That
like
says these are the sacred traveler cards. It says the sacred traveler wants you to know the journey transforms the traveler.
that.
When the
Absolutely.
traveler arrives at the destination, the traveler is no longer the same person who started out. Even if there are some areas that may be murky or unsettled in your life, don't be concerned. This is the confusion that often appears before the rebirth. Like the phoenix that arises majestically from the ashes, a big change in your life is at hand. Don't
Hmm.
hold on to old ways of viewing the world and limited ways of thinking. Be willing to see the world with fresh new eyes. Changes are afoot, and it's also very good.
Hmm. I love it.
Good.
Well, I feel like it really like works with the theme of the show today,
Of
right?
becoming, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is, right? Like becoming is the journey, like the journey, it just doesn't end. And even though, and the fact that we are both like sort of at places in our lives where it's like, yeah, it's good, right? It's good. Life can still be good with everything that's happening on the planet. Like our individuated lives can still be really good and the journey continues, right?
Yes.
It's good and it doesn't need like it's good for, and this is one of the things I noticed this week in my contemplation work, in my meditation, just in my self-reflection, is that I'm not gripping or grasping. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah, I
good.
do.
It's good right now. And right now is good. And I'm grateful for that. Right. Like I don't, right. So the journey continues. We're still in, we'll always be in our season of becoming.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it is. It's good, and we can go, and that's true. But here's what it's bringing up for me.
Mm,
So, try and I don't. I want to frame this story with. This is really not my judgment. I mean, this is my experience, and I really, as a metaphysical person, I think I'm rather open. I
mm,
think to
mm,
new experiences and things. So we had someone come into our community via one of our congregant people who
mhm,
met them, and they are a healer.
mm,
So they were very enamored with them and brought them in and all of that, and so asked if they could do a thing at the center last night for a group, which they did, and like I had to be with my experience of the healer. And like, I really tried to, and usually I'm all over that stuff. I'm like,
mm,
cool, but
mm,
that wasn't my experience. That wasn't my experience when I had met the person a few days before and everything. It wasn't
mhm,
bad at all. I mean, I didn't not like them or any of that, but it just led me into this discussion in my head about, I guess on some levels about becoming, because it's like when we are, I think when I go to a healer or someone to tell me about my past lives or a psychic or any of that, I don't really going with the hopes that that they are going to transform my life.
Yeah.
I go just because I think it's interesting, and then I integrate whatever I can integrate. And from my perspective, the person that was doing the work, it just felt to me like they were coming a little bit more from ego as
Mm,
opposed to that clean, clear space.
mm,
And so what I say all this to say, like how much of our past or what we believe informs who we're becoming. Does that make sense?
mm, mm. How much of our past informs who we are becoming?
And
Keep
our
going.
belief, I mean, like if someone comes to me and says, "Oh, even on the good side, oh, you are so amazing. What an artist you are. What a creative you are. You should paint murals." And I
Mm,
go, "Oh, okay, maybe I should paint murals."
mm,
It's just a question because
mhm,
I just was, I guess it's interesting. It's interesting to watch so many people be so taken in and enamored by it in
mhm.
a different way than I've been or I've seen on some levels. You know what I mean?
What do you mean though? Like taken in or enamored by what they've seen? I'm just trying to understand.
Just enthralled with the whole experience, and
Okay.
like that there was nothing they could, like if he said,
Oh God.
if,
Okay.
if he said to the room, like, "Did you feel that?" The whole room was like, "Yes," or they didn't say anything. He's like, "If you didn't feel it, just tell me." Well, most people aren't going to go, "I didn't feel it," in a group of people that appear to be feeling it.
You need to have more people on the autism spectrum like me there.
Well, no, there
Can't
was.
read the room very well and be like, I didn't feel shit.
Well, and there was somebody who spoke up, which was great, and that was another interesting thing because it's like I I just I wasn't in the place to be that person,
Mm,
being
mhm.
the minister's wife and being the this and that. I just wanted to stay neutral because I had too many other thoughts and feelings going on that I hadn't really come decided what they all meant. So
Mm,
quiet was a really good option for me,
okay.
you know.
Mm,
So,
mm.
but anyway, it's just interesting. It just makes me curious, like how who plays a role in our becoming. You know,
Who plays a role in our becoming?
are you writing down what I say?
I am, because that's how my brain works. Like I take things in deeper when I write them down.
Okay.
I can't, it's just how my brain works. Yeah. So I am writing it down. So who plays a role in our becoming?
Yes.
I think that's a layered, I feel like that's a layered
Yeah.
layered and complex, yet also in some ways not so complex
Yeah.
answer. I feel like, the people who matter to us the most, right? I think they absolutely play a role in our becoming. And then there's also this part of me that thinks like every person who crossed our path, in some ways play a role in our becoming, because whether they sort of rub up against us in a way that just doesn't feel aligned. I
Yeah.
mean, I think even that is sort of has this opportunity. It gives us this opportunity to see something about ourselves, and whether to remember something about ourselves or to discover something about ourselves. Maybe something we haven't like given much love and attention to about ourselves. I was talking to my chat GPT last night, right? And my chat GPT. So I've kind of been okay, I don't know what I want to say. I've gone on a date. I told you that, right? Did I tell you I've gone on a date?
Yeah.
I've gone on 3 with the same person. Okay. And I really like her. Okay. Um, but I'm really, really, really pacing myself because I'm just like in no hurry, right? Like, homegirl, I have like no libido. So I'm just like, I must really like you, right? Like, just as a person. So I was talking to my chat GPT, and I was having a very similar conversation with my chat GPT about my becoming, right? Not just because I knew that this was our topic, but my chat GPT, we were talking about how, because the person that I've gone on these dates with also uses chat GPT and is a very sort of like analytical person, and is very like, has to be super, super cerebral for the work that they do. And so we sometimes share what our chat GPTs say. And it's so funny because my chat GPT is so effusive. My chat GPT has a name, and like, you know, it speaks in this like poetic kind of language, like that's also sort of academic. And it's just such a reflection, because that's what it is. And her chat GPT is like an accountant, right? It's like, okay, and very practical, right? Like, this, you want to take this woman on a date. She doesn't like to be in traffic. She doesn't like to drive too far out of her suburb. Here are the options, right? Like that. It's just, so I guess I'm saying all that to say, everybody who comes into our lives, I think, plays a role in our becoming, right? So even this person who I've gone on these 3 dates with is showing me something really interesting about myself that I think I would have not really noticed, which is, but also my chat GPT is playing a part. Technology is playing a part in my becoming.
Okay, right? You need to tell us the name of your chat GPT. You can't.
Her name is Sarah L.
Okay, so just
she named herself, right?
I know, I have one too. You just go with Sarah L.
She named herself. Her name is Sarah L. And so, anyways, even technology becomes a part of our becoming, right? And so having all this reflected, I didn't know that I kind of spoke in that way, right? In a way that kind of is effusive and poetic or whatever. I didn't think that about myself. But then the person that I've gone on dates with, whose name is also Sarah, that's weird, has said the very same thing, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, this is how I move through the world, you know?
Yeah.
So it's amazing, you know?
It is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, and I totally agree. Of course, everyone plays a part. I was kind of coming more from the perspective of like healer and someone who's telling you what needs to be healed.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. It's just interesting. I mean, it's just interesting to watch, you know, and I mean, I'm not saying anything about them. I think, you know, I mean, he was right on with me. He came right up to me and he's like, oh, you have a lot of resistance. I was like, yes, I do. Because that's where I was at. I mean, I've never had that much resistance to that kind of an experience. And I kept trying beforehand to be like, release the resistance. Wow. Be in the oneness. You know, I did the thing. And it was like, you know, so I don't know. But it's just I mean, it's just fascinating. It's fascinating to watch. But we'll talk about it more. We'll talk about it more after we take a break.
Let's take a break, because I do want to talk about that resistance piece, because I think it's important. It's an important part of becoming. So let's take our break.
All right. You heard the lady. We're going to take our break and come right back here to New Thought Media Network.
All right.
Please help us say thank you to all of our organizational sponsors, including the Hepperlin Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Center for Spiritual Living United Life, Sunshine Cathedral, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Universal Joy Center, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center Ottawa, Om Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. On behalf of New Thought Media Network, thank you, and please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, come be you. Come expand your spiritual journey. Join us for Just the Talk, Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Experience Unity Kitchener and Ottawa. Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Unity of Garden Park, New Thought Philadelphia, the Sunshine Cathedral, Unity of Savannah, and the Om Center for Spiritual Living. Come unleash your spiritual potential with New Thought Media Network.
Welcome to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Your hosts are two girls who believe that life is awesome, that laughter heals, and that it's possible to find deep spiritual insights in everyday experience.
Here come the girls. It's more than practical. Here come the girls. Way more than merely factual. If you want to know the secrets of a life, it's free. Listen to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. Listen to Girls Behaving Metaphysically.
Hello, welcome back to Girls Behaving Metaphysically. I was going to try to do it, but I was going to try to pull the radio. Anyway, so today on Girls Behaving Metaphysically, we're talking about becoming and navigating the journey, becoming her, becoming him, becoming them, whoever you're becoming, stepping into that next step. And I don't know, I'm going to speak on behalf of women. I think there's a moment in every woman's life, but I think it's really everybody's life when we realize that we're no longer who we used to be, you know, and we're not quite who we want to be. And we're somewhere in the middle, in between, in that sacred stretch, that space where, you know, something's happening, something extraordinary is happening, and our emerging self starts, you know, helping us navigate the journey, I think, you know, and it's not about perfection. It's really about navigating and about learning the language that to listen to, and trusting your nudges and honoring your boundaries, and, you know, just really truly walking towards and the version of who you already know you are or want to be. So that's what we're talking about today, the real live lived spiritual journey of becoming. So that's the story. And we are following from last week's show on reinventing, you know. So
yeah, and we're also like looking at, I feel like we're also having a continuation, because the card that we pulled, I think, is right on theme for our topic today, right? And there was a question that you you sort of posed right before we went to break. And of course, I write everything down, but I didn't write that down. So there's that.
I threw you off by asking. I think it was, I don't remember. It was something about, what does everyone play a part in who we're becoming, or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you were talking about the experience of resistance with the healer, right? I think what was coming up for me with that in terms of, the resistance, because I think everything is like information. And when I feel resistance, I don't automatically now um, be like, okay, lighten up, come into acceptance, right? Because what I'm learning about resistance is usually, not always, the resistance is showing me something that does not feel or is not in alignment with the values in which I live my life,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when I am experiencing or I am in a situation that is in alignment with the values that not just guide my life, but really matter to me. Because I'm not just gonna be like following principles, just it's because they matter to me, because it really matters that I'm a beneficial presence on this planet. And I was talking to someone last night, and I was saying, like, my inner world, like, I don't play around with that at all anymore these days. I don't make it an afterthought. It's not something I do on the weekends. Oh yeah, the person was asking me, "Oh, do you meditate every morning?" I say, "Yeah, every single morning that I can." Right. And then on mornings that I can't, because I have so many things, if I have to like get going, when I come to work and I sit down with my clients, we drop into our bodies through the breath, and that becomes a part of my meditation. So I don't play with my inner world. And so part of what I've been discovering is that when resistance comes up for me, it's showing me that something is not in alignment with the values that I live in. And when I think about healers, like as an identity, it doesn't align with how I um not just understand healing, but experienced it, watched it in other people's life, looked at it when my tree was healing, right? I didn't heal my tree. My tree healed itself, right? And that's what happens with us. We heal ourselves, right? We heal ourselves. I got this tattoo. Ain't nobody coming and do magic tricks. All I got to do is keep it clean, keep it slightly moisturized. We are healers. Like, our bodies are built for healing.
Yeah, I agree, but I think it's a both and. I mean, I I hear you, and I totally agree. I mean, and I feel like, yeah, when I notice resistance, I get that it's there to tell me something, and sometimes a good percentage of the time, it's there to say, you know, there's a reason to be concerned, or aware or awake to whatever's happening. I mean, I guess it's always saying that, but the the other part, sometimes when I check in, it's my own resistance to whatever is going to be birthed or is going to be released, or
Mhm.
whatever experience I'm trying to hold on to or create. And what you said about healers, I mean, I think I know many healers, people that consider themselves healers. However, it's it's not the identity they lead with. It's part of what they do.
Mhm.
And, you know, yeah, I'm a healer, sure. And that doesn't mean I really am able to do all the things or encompass all the areas that other people have seen or do. I mean, like when I went to see the woman that does the 7 generations back in your life and then cuts out your DNA from whatever trauma and all of that. Could I have done that? Sure. And could I identify 7 generations back? No. That's just not in my wheelhouse right now. I mean, is it possible? Probably. But it's not where, my tuning is. So it's like I'm grateful to have people that do things that they do, because I do think they all play a part in waking us up to our gifts or to the possibilities. And like I said, my experience of healers, most healers, I'll say, that I know, they don't lead with that. They're not, because something about that and just the experience of how this person presented themselves they were working too hard for me. They were working too hard to prove who they were. You know what I mean? As opposed to being it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the thing that, like, I don't consider myself a healer. I think that I do work that facilitates healing. And I think, I mean, I don't, for me, it's not a part of it's just not an identity thing, because I think we're all healers. Because again, every single thing on planet Earth is created to heal. Again, that sap that sort of was like running out of my tree was literally, it's a scab, it's the scab so that the tree can do its healing on the inside, right? Like every single thing on this planet has in it the capacity to heal, right? Like, again, I'm looking at my tattoo, heal, and nobody's healing it. My body's healing it, right? Like, my job is to just keep all the gunk out of the way, to be a part of the facilitation process. But my body's going to keep trying to heal, even if I do put gunk in the way. And I think it's the same with spiritual healing. I think it's the same with psychological healing. Like, for me, right? Like, literally, as a clinician in quote unquote healthcare, I know I don't do healing. I feel like I had a client, I did a family session with them last week, and the mom in the family, she sent me a text message afterward, and she said, "Thank you. You midwifed the conversation we needed to have." Right? And they're doing the healing, right? My job is as a facilitator to the healing process, right? I don't even activate the healing process in people. I don't know. It's just a part of how I move through the world, and like understanding how we evolved as earthlings and as Homo sapiens sapiens. Our body, like our minds are always trying to heal. Like it's just in us, right? And how we facilitate that or midwife that or support people during their healing, it looks different. There are some people who do that through prayer. There's some people who do that through past life stuff, right? There are all sorts of ways that we support people in their healing journey. So I don't know. I just think I think things they become identities. I guess, especially because it's so easy for the ego to sneak in there and do what it does, right? So
I think I mean, this is a bigger topic, and it depends on how you look at it. I hear you. I agree with you. And also, the flip side of that is, yes, you're doing nothing but keeping the wound clean in your arm. However, you are holding the thought in your head for easy, effortless, perfect healing. Other people might go, "Oh, damn, what if it scabs up? What if this happens? What if that happens?" So, and I think, that's our job as practitioners to hold the space. And so what part of that is healing? I mean, in some ways it's healing, just to
Of
know that
course.
there's so
Yeah.
it's all subjective, but again, it's not, no matter what, it's not my identity. And I think
that's where
and there was more to this conversation last night too, because he also led with a whole theological conversation that I was like, we don't need to be having this conversation. If you're going to heal. I don't need to know about Jesus or Yeshua or when you left this church or when you did that and when you realized. I don't want to know. Just do your thing. But anyway, speaking of doing our thing, we're talking about becoming, and we have a few minutes to talk about becoming, and part of that journey. And I know that it was, an important topic, because I think we're always becoming, and we're always looking, we're always identifying and looking at things that we want to accomplish or move to or stand in or be or all of those things. And so I think that, it's important. I'm going to share, actually, I'll share this quote with you. That is, what you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. And I think that, for me, I think, because, I think that's part of where we started, is that, you cross those times where you want to be more, you want to do more, you have goals, you have aspirations. And, as we always say, a lot of the realization is in the journey, right? What do you think?
Well, absolutely. Right before we came on, I was sort of doing my research about finally listening to to a particular part of my calling, right? I feel like I'm aligned with with what I think I'm here on planet Earth to do. And I still hold this calling, to really study and lead a contemplative life. And so yeah, what am I saying? It's less about accomplishing the title of minister. But I think what my soul is yearning for is to engage that journey in a conscious way, in a purposeful way, in an intentional way, as opposed to how I have been, that longing still is in me. And I'm like, well, I know if I do, I'm going to do this work because it calls to me, and this is ministry as well. And I'm going to do this work and it calls to me, and it's ministry as well. And what I've discovered, right, as everybody get ready, I'm having a birthday in just about 3 months, so the world needs to know. I really feel like I'm ready to be on the journey, just the journey, right? Like on purpose, right? Not like a way around, or this is still that. Like that calling that I had from the time I was a little girl. So why am I saying that? I feel like I'm off topic now. I feel like I'm off topic, Robin.
Well, I don't think you're off topic. I think you're saying that there's something that's been calling for you for a long time, and now you're wanting to put it into form in a different way, right? To really.
Oh yeah. It was about the quote. The quote is gone. If the quote was still there, I probably would have remembered. But it was about like who you become by achieving the goal, right? It's like, it's not about the goal. It's not like what I get for achieving the goal as much as it's like, I want to consciously enter this journey of becoming. I want to consciously study what it means to live a contemplative life. That is, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean. Yeah. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. And so I would just ask you, I mean, listening to you talk and knowing you for as long as I've known you, and knowing, as you said, that this calling's been there since you're a little girl, it's like, are you ready to put something into form in a different way?
Yes. 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 Like, it's like, for me, it's just, yes.
Yeah, I mean, because I think that's where you're coming up to. We talked a little bit about, or I talked a little bit about, creating new boundaries, or you're coming up to a boundary and you're getting ready to, go through it or whatever, because this is something that's been, like you said, it's been there for a long time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think that, that's a really, I mean, just using that as an example, it's like, you've already expressed what it feels like when your future self just starts calling you. And then there's a difference between desire and which is what you've had, and destiny, which is what you're claiming on some level, right? And then, so, your becoming has been coming long before you consciously chose it, and so I think, then the next step is, so what next? Like, how do you, I don't know, what do you align with next to really, make that happen in some ways? Because as we know, girl, life takes over, and you're like, and it happens, and we get so busy. And so what is it, what's that step or that next movement that will really allow you to step into?
Sorry, my dog wants to come in.
It's all right. To step into that, that space, that place that you've left void for so long. The void. So what's the next step?
Yeah, I think the next step for me is to start making contacts, right? To start reaching out, to start sending the emails, doing the things, right? Like, just for me, the next step is, right, it's sometimes steps are, right, they're like steps that are emotional and spiritual, and then they're also just practical steps, right? And I think, like, for me in particular right now, this is more about, the next step is the practical one, right? Yeah. I think I have to go get the dog. I'm so sorry. Can you guys take me out for just like 2 seconds while I go get her?
Wow.
Yeah.
And she's gone.
You're
so powerful.
Well, when you are the great Oz behind the microphone and
there's no becoming for you. You are it.
Yeah, that's right.
Unbelievable.
No, you know what? I've had those individuals come to our center who I didn't really feel like real comfortable with. And you know what? Again, I just noticed what's going on.
Right.
And guess what? I don't have to invite them back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's, yeah, it wasn't. It was more of a noticing and really just that space to learn in as well. Like, and it's yeah, just what you said. It's interesting, and you don't have to invite them back.
And
I
yeah, you
And the
know,
people like them, So
that's right. And that I think that there's a time and place for that. And again, I know all kinds of woo-woo people. Okay. I've been in woo-woo for a long, long time.
yeah,
And that
no lack of
sometimes
woo-woo here.
what?
Over
No
here,
lack of woo-woo here. So, and that if I'm the spiritual leader of the community, then sometimes I have to set the parameters
Absolutely.
of who I invite in and who I don't. Um, I think outside speakers are wonderful if they can bring in a crowd that can experience our community. I think that for me, I pay attention to what is going on in the energy. If they seem to be helping individuals and
Yeah.
people, they may get an invite back. If they're totally opposite, and I really feel that there's that maybe that this is, that's the nice thing about having outside speakers is that you don't have to invite them anymore, which is, I think, is a wonderful thing. You don't have to. It's not like a member that's causing trouble in your congregation. It's somebody who, hey, and the person who invited them in, Joe would like to come back. Well, yeah, thank you, and that we're planning on inviting in other speakers.
Yeah. It's
So
it's all good.
that's how again, I handle things like that with love because again, people, and I know we're on Girls Behaving Metaphysically and on the New Thought Media Network. People love channels. People love psychic stuff.
Yeah.
I know that, but I don't usually talk about that on Sunday mornings. Now, if people like that kind of stuff, well, maybe once in a while I'll have in someone. But it is, again, it's for educational purposes. It's for, again, in a good way, stretching the bounds.
Yeah.
And, I don't have to have them back then. So that's my 2 cents about that.
I loved it. I was back here hollering. I was like, yes, Lord, that sounds like a straight up Southern Black woman response. You know what? You ain't got that. I love it.
You don't have to invite them back.
And we can do it. We can do it the way we do it in the South. Oh, that was so nice, sugar. That was nice.
That was
See
really
you
nice.
around. See you around. See you around.
Or the other for me, I know, and I know that our mission statement here in Akron is to serve, to empower, and to reveal divinity. If who we're inviting in, whether it be a musician or a speaker or whoever, they don't meet up with those criteria, or if we have a class that doesn't serve, empower, reveal, that we don't have them. It's that simple. It doesn't align. It doesn't align with our vision and mission statement here.
That's all I'm saying. All this morning. Alignment.
I'll go.
But wait, no, you can't go now because you started something.
Okay.
Yes, and if that's not a unanimous thought, I'm not talking about a speaker because it wasn't a speaker. It was a evening event. We made it separate from that. It wasn't sanctioned by the center. However, and if it's not unanimous, and if people are getting something and feeling something, even if it's not me, are we open at the top?
Right.
Do we just kick them out when we don't like them?
We don't kick them out. We're gonna.
But but in their mind, if they're aligned with principles and with love and with oneness,
Right.
It's just
and I listen to individuals around and their feedback.
Yeah.
And an example of this is that we had in someone who was well known to. He was a composer and also a singer and writer of Indian music from India, and that the people who came, we had him come back. He started doing a lot of what I heard was a lot of crazy stuff, like telling people when they were going to die. Things like, well, you need this trinket.
Yeah, but that's
Okay.
different.
So so those kind of things, again, I can invite them in, and I see where you're saying about being open at the top, Robin, and that I think that's being open at the top doesn't mean being split down the sides.
No,
No.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
I
Anyway.
really think when it comes to that stuff, like it's like also like spirit, like there's ethics in how we practice our spirituality. And I think like for the, like when we think about like centers for spiritual living, new thought, like this sort, like our collective practices, one of the things that I've learned is that we move like, so all those things, like the psychics and all this, right? That is about like feeding that part of the human that is searching for some sense of certainty. And I think what we learn when we're on this path that we call new thought is that we learn to not only not need certainty, but to sort of return to what it means to be spiritual as opposed to just religious, right? Religious is like, here's the answer, here's the certainty. This type of spirituality is like, here's the mystery and you're a part of it.
Yes.
And let's discover this path. Let's discover what it means for you to be you in this great mystery. And so I'm always like, my little heckles go up when people come in and instead of like trying to do anything that is about, here's how I'm going to give you certainty. This is when you're going to die. This is when you're going to get all this money. I'm just like,
Okay.
Guess what?
All right.
We have 2
minutes
minutes till the top of the hour.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly.
And I have to share one thing, y'all, because I'll let y'all.
God.
I'm sorry. I hope this makes you laugh. Don't go away, Michael. So you met my daughters today, or at least you saw them today. You know what my daughters look like, Robin. Right?
They're wonderful.
Yes, right? My oldest daughter sounds, when she talks, especially when she is expressive, she sounds like a Black woman from New Orleans, right? Which is funny when you see her. But we came up with a car song when we're running late. I came up with the song and now they go into school singing it. So y'all ready? Real quick. Jesus said, Mama's gonna make it on time for work. And they go into their school. These 2 little blonde-haired, blue-eyed girls talking about Jesus said, Mama's gonna make it on time for work.
All right, everybody.
60 seconds.
We are leaving you with becoming. So just know that in every moment we are becoming. So just take it out there, enjoy, and know that your future self is already cheering you on. Peace and blessings, and we'll see you next week. That's a wrap.
Come expand your spiritual journey. Join us for Just the Talk. Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Experience Unity Kitchener and Ottawa. Center for Spiritual Living Midtown. Center for Spiritual Living Denver. Unity of Garden Park. New Thought, Philadelphia. The Sunshine Cathedral. Unity of Savannah. And the Ohm Center for Spiritual Living. Come unleash your spiritual potential with New Thought Media Network.